So number 1. So again, when you get a word problem, you got to figure out which type it is. It's going to be one of these 4. I won't have this on the board, but you will have the slope. I'll put that up here. And then y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Although I don't really think y'all need those formulas. Y'all kind of have them memorized. You've been using them so much. All right, so at first glance, when I look at this, I see 2 numbers. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be this one because this is the only one we have that has 2 numbers. But you don't want to just go by that because there might be a hidden number, like a number that's in here but it's like spelled out. All right, so what it's asking is it wants us to write an equation, but then we have a follow-up. And all the follow-up means is tell what they are. So there's 100 pencils, and I see per day. That means that is the slope. This is the y-intercept. So we can go straight to y equals negative 4x plus 100. So make sure, or excuse me, plus 1,000. Make sure you put a negative because it's giving away. So it's coming off of the 1,000 original. Now, when it says this, explain what both numbers mean in the context of the problem. So regardless of which type of this, it's a little bit different for this one. But, well, really that also, if it asks you to explain in the context of the problem, you have to explain what this means. So you would write something like, this is the rate in which she is losing her pencils. This is the starting amount of pencils. That's not real hard because it kind of tells you that in the problem. When that might be a little more challenging is when you have to get it to y equals on your own. Hey. Here you go.
The light just falls in.
All right, so number 2. Scala has $100 to buy pencils and whiteboard markers. Pencils are 4 per pack and markers are 5 per pack. Write an equation. Now, when there's 3 numbers involved, this one has 3 numbers because you've got the slope and then a point. So there's 2 numbers involved. This one, you're going to have 4 numbers. This one is also 3 numbers because you're going to have 2 rates. So that's 2 numbers and then a total. So with 3 numbers, it could be 4 or it could be 2. As I'm looking through this, I see 2 curves. That means I have 2 rates. So you have to do the one where it is 4x plus 5y equals 100. You don't have to get this to a y equals mx plus b. Just asks you to write an equation, and that's an equation. But that's one thing it's asking you to do. Then it says determine the intercepts. And then it says tell what they mean in the context of the problem. So you should have the equation, you should have 2 ordered pairs, and then you should have words written down somewhere. So I could go 0 here and 20 right there. How did I get 20? 100 divided by 5 is 20. Or I could do 0 here and 25 here. You may have not done it this way. You may have said that the y-intercept was 20 and the x-intercept was 25. That is fine too. Now, if this is all you put, you're not going to get full credit because you're not answering all the questions. So if it says, so this right here, that means you need to tell me units. So this 20, let's see, what was y? Markers. Markers were the $5 ones. You could buy, so what this would mean, so you would have to write this out. You could spend all of your money on markers. If you did, you would buy 20 packs of them. You could buy 20 packs of markers and no pencils. That would be an extreme. You could spend all your money in one place. No pencils, all markers. Or if you went the other way, you could spend all your money on pencils and no money on markers. All right, so number 2 was kind of hard, or excuse me, number 3, I felt like. So you're gonna have to have a combination, like this is a combination. 0 pencils, 20 markers. This is a combination, 25 pencils, 0 markers. There are other combinations that when you total them, when you total it up, you're still gonna spend $100. Did anybody get another combination? I want to show you, so like if you have 4x plus 5y equals 100. Okay, whatever you put in here, let's say you're just randomly guessing and you go 2 and 10. 2 pencils and 10 markers. Then 4 times 2 plus 5 times 10 should equal 100. That doesn't. 4 times 2 plus 5 times 10 is going to give you 58. So that is not a possible combination because you're not spending all your money. So you could try something else. I could try 10 markers, or no, that's pencils. 10 pencils and 5 of these. So 10 and 5, 4 times 10 plus 5 times 5 should equal 100. But it doesn't. So 10 comma 5 would not be a combination. Okay, I'm going to give you just a few minutes for you to figure out a combination. I'm going to give you a note card and you're going to write it on the note card. Now, you can't use these combinations. These are already taken. Okay?
Yeah.
Will we write it on this card?
Did you write it right on the card? Did you ever, you don't know how you have it?
I got a combination.
Make sure you put your name on this. Now, so this is what y'all are looking for in your binders.
What is it?
Oh, y'all had the trouble with this because it had fractions on it. Okay. Zoom it up.
Oh, yeah.
All right, number 4. Now, I know, can you grab that? I know all these are standard form because I told you they were. But here's a slope, 1/4 an hour to play, and the other one is 1/2 of an hour to play. She didn't. They're supposed to be, but she isn't here. Okay, so you had 2 ways you could do this. 1/4 is also 0.25. You could have put 1/4. Tell her to, I'll just, hang on. Oh, my bad. Thank you for telling me. There you go. So you could have done it this way, or you could have done fractions with it. Either way would be fine. What? Yeah. No. Okay. Okay. So, from here, now you may have done 1/4, and if you did 1/4, I'm going to do 2 different ones. If you did 1/4 x plus 1/2 y equals 8, you may have had trouble using your calculator. This way, I don't think we'd have trouble. So I'm going 0 here on clear. 8 divided by 0.5, that's not 0.5. 8 divided by 0.5 is 16. And 8 divided by 2.5 is 32. So those are your 2 intercepts. Now, some of y'all had questions about this one yesterday, and it was dividing by a fraction. So if you did it this way, if you zeroed that out, okay, so you're trying to put in 8 divided by 1/2 in your calculator. So I want to show you this. There we go. Clear. 8, and we know that 8 divided by 1/2 is 16 because we just did that. But if you do, so I'm going to go over how to put a fraction in your calculator. 8 divided by, now 1/2, any type of fraction that you want to put in these calculators, you put it as a division problem, but it has to be in parentheses. So that is how you put 1/2 in these calculators. It has to be in parentheses. So you hit enter, and it's 16. If you look up here, if you don't put 1/2 in parentheses, it's not going to give you the right answer because you've not communicated the right thing to your calculator. Okay, so same thing here. If you're trying to do 8 divided by 1/4, you got to put 1/4 in parentheses. Enter 32. Okay, so that might have been the problem with number 4. Did somebody say they needed 60? Number 5?
Yes.
Okay. You have a total, okay, so that's our total. 10 minutes. We could change this and say it takes you 10 minutes per lap. I'll make sure I have pers in there. And 6 minutes per set of squats. 10x plus 6y equals 60. The only thing you're going to have to make sure you know, like when you do the intercepts, is what you made X and what you made Y. Did I make X running or doing squats? I did the first one as X and the first one was running. Any questions with this? Yes. I need you to talk quite a bit louder. I can't hear you. That's because you did not put it in your calculator like this. 1/4 has to be in parentheses. You did 8 divided by, and you did 1/4 like this. And it does equal 2. But just make sure that when you put in a fraction in these calculators, you put it in parentheses and it's a division problem. Okay, on your way out, you're going to turn in this on the stool, and then you're going to hand me your note card.